Hey, how's it going? Blue Riser here. Today we're bringing a new AppCast. This is Harbingers Last something. I forget what the name is. Honestly, it's not that important. Very few times do I come across a game that I know I just don't like from like less than a week of playing. This is one of them. You know, I can't believe I've come across a game that is so uninspired and unoriginal. It really doesn't have anything that pulls me in, especially in a market where so many of his competitors are doing the same thing, if not better. Now, while I was getting more games to play for AppCast, some of the games require you to watch ads for benefits, such as like coins or like retries, stuff like that. And Harbingers was one of the biggest games that had their ads like within whatever program that is. So I finally I cracked. I was like, alright, fine, I'll download the game. Let me see what it's about. And boy, was it really not worth much. I don't even know where to really freaking start with this game. So when you start the game, it opens you up in this pseudo open world-esque area, and you're thinking, oh, it's like an open world game, kind of like Honkai Impact, but it's not. That's just a lie. It's a 100% fallacy, because I haven't even gotten back to that point, and I've played like a considerable amount of time. I'm like, where is that? It doesn't exist. Hopefully I can find some video footage of that part, because it's a total lie. It's like an ad in the game. It's like, this is what you're going to be playing, and then it's not. It was so annoying. It's very frustrating. So you know what? Let's just start with exploration. This is your main mode of gameplay. You got all this other stuff. It really doesn't matter because the gameplay doesn't change. So I'm on stage 4. You go to your map. You have battle zones 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see there's a bunch of battle zones. I want you guys to keep mind of the aesthetic, like what's going on right now with the aesthetic of the game, like the UI and stuff like that. Because I'm going to bring it up because it utterly frustrates me, which is why I call it unoriginal and uninspired. So here we're on battle zone, I guess 1 through 10 or something, 11, 12. But when you beat the battle zone, you can no longer go back to it. So there is no backtracking in this game. Fine enough, I guess. But it would be fine if you could actually play other stages besides the newest one. So let's say you're stuck on like a little hill right now. You can't get over the next obstacle. You're kind of stuck there. Now, not technically because you have other ways of working, or I should say doing battles, but like I can't go back ever again. So if I wanted stuff from here, no, you can't. So we're gonna go ahead and fight. I want to show you the gameplay. So this is gameplay. It's an auto battle game. Pretty simple stuff there. We've got these special moves, which are all out attacks from Persona 5, pretty much. And there we go. Very interesting, right? So now we move on to the next one. I don't believe I'll have much trouble with these guys since I've powered up a considerable amount. So I don't. My sound effects are off or something? What's happening here? It is 100% the all-out attacks. It's so annoying. Look at this. Do you see that victory? You see everything about this? The red with the black with the dots, the gradient dots. It's Persona 5. If you haven't noticed yet. The whole aesthetic of the game is based off Persona 5's aesthetic. Look at the details thing right here. Look at this OK box. It all looks like Persona 5's aesthetic. It's UI, it's everything. It's very annoying because I get it. You maybe took inspiration from Persona 5, but Jesus Christ, it's everywhere. Like, I don't know too many games that copy another game's user interface this much. It's all over the place. Look at the map. Oh my god, it's so frustrating. It just comes off as a half-hearted attempt to look good, but it's based on someone else's work. So if I want to change my team around, we can change them around. I got Cleopatra, so you know what? Let's switch this guy out. Put Cleopatra in. There you go. Cool enough. That should be a pretty decent team. And then the story itself is pretty boring. For the most part, I don't talk about the story in these games, but geez, is it boring. It really doesn't have much going for it. It's not very exciting at all. Yay, Nightingale healing, whatever. Like, this is all it is. And if you've seen enough of my AppCast, you know how much I don't like auto games, like auto playing games. It's a persistent thing for me that I feel. Oh, I guess we gotta do something. Okay, well, we're doing this, whatever this is, but it's a persistent thing where it's boring, for the most part, because your characters are doing the same thing over and over and over again. And when you don't have control, there is no point where you are engaged about the gameplay. Like, I understand, even Persona 5 itself has an auto battle feature, but the gameplay itself is solid. The turn-based RPG mechanics are solid. Like, you can't take that away from this. This doesn't have any strong core gameplay. Nothing like that. So, for the most part, if I turn it on, I just put it to the side of me and then let it do its thing. But again, it just, I don't care. I had the same issue with, I think the game was Dragon Blaze, but that game had a lot of downloads. A lot of people criticized me on it, but whatever. You know, there's not much to really be engaged about for this. You know, I've been sitting here for a while. They just do this, and that's really it. It's not like idle games where, idle as in IDLE, where you kind of know why they're just going on automatic roll. But this is, like, I'm trying to sit here and give the game the benefit of the doubt, because so much of regular games, that's not English, but this is like the basics of gameplay nowadays, is, oh, you can't beat a challenge, well, just wait a little longer, get more resources, experience, and then try again. That's what this game is. If you get stuck at a wall, just literally turn the game off. Let's go back to exploration. While you're in this part of the story, like right here, the character starts searching for the previous area that you were in. And so they search for like experience, money, and stuff like that over time. So you're better off just turning the game off. Just literally closing it and coming back later, leveling up your characters, and then beating a few stages, turning it off. That's what I'm saying. Like, what kind of connection can I feel with this game? There's no real connection. And then let's go over here to the Harbingers real quick, because this is another reason I don't like the game. Even though you can call me a hypocrite, because when Dragalia Lost came with Ieyasu and oh my god, I'm forgetting the name off the top of my head. This dragon. I think it's Marston. I was like, I can't wait to see like like Oda and characters like that. But here, it just seems like they use the name of these famous people in history just to try to sell the characters more. Nikola Tesla, and a lot of them are gender bent, whatever. Fate Grand Order does that, but these designs just are half the time just boobs. Like here we have Jeanne d'Arc. I really don't feel much for it. Like, it has nothing really to offer. I mean, the character designs are okay. They're fine enough, you know. There's nothing wrong with them. But, you know, how many games are we going to have where you just play as these famous historical people, right? How many Nobunaga Odas are we going to have? Of course, it's going to be a lot. This is a trend that's going to keep happening. But, geez Louise, does it make me feel nothing for your characters. And in the case of Dragalia's Lost, at least they had more original characters with original names than they did like characters based off of stuff. And I'm not including like characters from like Shadowverse and what is that called? Grand Blue. But this game is solely reliant on name recognition of these characters. Oh, Nobunaga Oda, I really like that character. Or I should say I like that person in history, so I'm going to pick this character or hopefully get this character. I mean, don't get me wrong, the art is nice. It's a nice art. And then that's really solely it. I could go on with everything else around this game. I could say they do have a lot of reward systems, which is pretty cool. You can get a lot of rewards. They've got like, oh, get rewards for this, get rewards for that. It's all over the place. So the game is at least rewarding, but let's go over here to summon real quick. It takes around 2,000. They give you around 50 to 20 for rewards. It's not really worth that much, but I mean, hey, at least they aren't being too stingy with their premium currency. And then there's Spaceship, but I really couldn't be bothered. I doubt it would change much about the game. It's just overall, this has nothing that you can't get from somewhere else. and for better too. Like, I really can't name what it is doing better than, let's say, like a game that used the namesakes of people like Fate Grand Order. Like, what is it doing better than Fate Grand Order? Not much, if anything at all, really. And you know, as far as it goes from like an auto game, I think Valkyrie Connect, the very first AppCast I did, is way better. You know, this is the same issue I had with Air of Light. You know, it looks good, it looks pretty, but that's about it. It has very little substance to it at all. But that's it. That's all I really have. I just don't like this game. If you like it, you can like it. I'm not telling you not to like the game. I'm just telling you why I don't like it. I wouldn't recommend playing this game at all. And in fact, I wanna know what people thought about this, because I want to see some user reviews. I'm sure there's a bunch of people who like it, but I need to see user reviews. This is something I did back in the first AppCast. I would look through the App Store because I thought introducing it this way would be cooler, but I got rid of that part. So this person is saying something about a bug, but they gave it 5 stars, so that's bad. It's a waste of a review. First opinion, the game was mundane because of the trailer. I played it and it changed my whole opinion of it. Like the characters I have different characteristics and are pretty interesting. I wish they had a backstory, and these are people that are based on people from the past. Like there, you can play a game that actually talks about these people's past. Fate Grand Order. 0 stars would be more appropriate, but it did earn 1 star just for the art. Only good part of this game. Balance and decent mechanics are non-existent. You will be crushed by teams who are 2 times weaker because they will heal each other every turn. They spam ultimates, and they will be more evasive to damage resistance than Ninja Symbiote with Wolverine genes. Rating it doesn't mean anything. Damage output rating doesn't mean anything. Damage output and defense also don't mean anything. You'll be crushed constantly. And this is what happened to me early on in the game. I was just getting crushed over and over and over again. And it's like, why is my rating is bigger than the enemy? What does the rating mean? What is it calculating? Is it nothing, apparently? Well, not nothing, but the stats obviously aren't balanced. Like, healing stats aren't given a certain number when they should be, especially when some enemies can just heal like that. Look at all these people giving it like 4 stars and stuff. This isn't how you rate game. I'm sorry, it's a pet peeve of mine. This isn't how you rate stuff. 4 stars. I just lost like 4,000 power. How are you giving it 4 stars? Latest update made it pay to win. See, I don't know too much about that. Obviously, I spent 0 money on it. And if I don't think you should play it, I probably don't think you should spend any money on it. So apparently there was an update over probably the week I wasn't playing that really screwed over everything. Hey, there you go. Someone who fell for the Persona 5 vibe. I'm thrilled. This is such a bad review. I'm sorry. I mainly love the game mainly because of the Persona 5 vibe. But for mobile, I really like the concept, and to see it back, I'm really thrilled to see it back. This game has potential, but it's not a finished product. They're updating it every week and changing the balance of the game every time. It's just too inconsistent. Now wondering whether or not new update will leave your leveling at a complete halt or let you jump up a few levels before the patch. And this is what happened. They changed the game. There used to be a system where you could give things to your characters and it would increase their rarity. But now they totally threw that out the window. You can still give things, but they have to be max level. It's like only 1 item now, so you have to stockpile that item. And then they changed enhancing weapons. You used to have to enhance weapons with these little stones. These are used for enhanced equipment. But then they changed it, so now you can only enhance equipment with money. And then you have to use money for other stuff too. So they keep changing it, throwing one thing out the window and throwing another thing in. It's so annoying. It's very frustrating. You need to get a good balance and stick to it. Yep, exactly. Look, another 4-star that doesn't really make too much sense. This should be a 3-star. Raise my review since I understand the game a bit more. It's decent fun and has fantastic art. Difficulty ramps up way too quickly, and your first day is spent stuck on a stage instead of progressing. Too much grinding requires way too quickly. I'm not sure about that. Game is good, but there's an update where the story mode is twice as hard. A mix of Persona 5 and a little bit of Fate Stay fighting zombies. I hope that's what they were going for. Anyway, I rated 3 stars because the artwork is gorgeous. However, autoplay would not turn off. I don't care much for it, but when it's your only option, it sucks a little. I like to choose attacks and don't get overthrown by bosses. See, I like this one. It's a 3-star. I think the game is middling. I would call it a 2-star game at best. Honestly, the game is pretty good. However, the English translations are completely awful to the point of not knowing what people are talking about in the story, yet it is bad. As well as the voice acting quality. It goes beyond the lack of experience and direction. They sound like they've never spoken to anyone before, or at least never heard anyone speak. Very, very unnatural. The game is easily a favorite of mine, at least the translation was reworked. 2 stars. More critical than me, dude. Whales only. The best gacha game I've played. Feels so satisfying to play and progress. The game is very challenging. So, this is because I'm going to be doing a bunch of AppCast. I've played a lot of games, and I'm ready to dole out some AppCast. But this is one of the things that I was thinking about. Like, for the most part, mobile games just rely on the high of progression, right? And the high of pulling characters. More so in the gacha spirit, right? But let's say like idle games and auto games, they really rely on you progressing. And if you don't progress, you're most likely going to stop playing because you have no control over the game, or I should say combat, gameplay. It doesn't matter. You have no control there. So if you can't progress within a certain amount of time, then you're most likely going to drop the game. And all of these rely on that high feeling of, oh, I just beat that thing, that really hard thing, and now it's time to move on to the next thing. It is not the same as, I would say, like the Souls games, where beating a boss and it takes a while to understand. In most part, this is just sitting down, turning off your game for a good amount of time too, because a lot of them like to build money while the game is off, and then coming back and then just powering up and then doing it again. If that didn't work, turning it off, powering on, and doing it again. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I feel like I've already said this before. Just another carbon copy of every summoning game where your characters fight automatically. Boring gameplay plus story, no strategy or explanation involved. Font and boxes ripped straight from Persona. Only thing I like is the artwork and how easy it is to get A-rank characters. Game punishes you for moving forward. Enemies nearly wipe you out despite being stronger, and you aren't compensated with enough leveling materials. You're forced to either wait or spend money. Voice acting is also subpar. I feel like this is the one I agree with the most. Yeah, you get a yes. And then they keep saying, thanks for your comment. Constant updates, weekly updates, based on your feedback and suggestion. Hardworking developers are constantly updating and improving the gaming experience with new gameplay. So I feel like that's the issue. They do that, and then they screw the game up. So like, people are like, oh, it's too hard to level up weapons. Let's say that, right? And so they say, you can level up weapons with just money now. But they're like, oh, now we don't get enough money. And so they throw more money, but like lower experience or something like that. It feels like they're buckling to every new thing that people want, and it's not working out because they didn't have a good foundation to begin with. I don't know why I got so heated about this game. Harbinger's last epic, I don't want to see you ever again. Okay, other than that, I'm done here. Please be sure, most likely tomorrow, there will be another AppCast. And the day after that, there might be another AppCast. Maybe even 5 days straight, if I can pull it off. Don't forget to check out the little eye icon at the top. I believe it's right of the thing. You can rate the game yourself if you played it. You can say if you want to play it. And then you can even suggest what kind of games you want to see next. With all that done, I'll definitely see you guys next time. Peace out.